Hey everybody, it's Grumpy Little Gnome here, and I wanted to do a quick training video today, particularly on a game mode that I'm seeing so many people struggle with. I've been seeing groups just time and time again fail because they're not understanding the game mechanics. And that game mode is Void Rifts. So in Void Rifts, you're here to fight a boss, and the boss has some sort of affixes. Okay, in this case, it says 30% less attack, but here they get 10% of that attack back, and they have less hit points. Now, people are, ignoring this, not just because it might have, say, flame resistance or cold resistance, but people see things like this, and they think, oh, the boss is 30% less attack and 30% less hit points. Oh, I can solo this. No, you cannot. Okay, there's a reason they put this in orange. Requirement 3 to 4 Wanderers recommended. Okay, unless you have the largest credit card in history, you are not going to pay to win this encounter as a solo. In fact, I'm willing to bet there's probably not too many people, if there's any people, even if they are pay to win, that are going to solo this encounter. So I want to go over some of the game mechanics here for you to kind of understand what a lot of people are missing and why so many groups are failing off of Void because they're literally just not following the game mechanics. So many of the bosses in this game we fight, say, in a relic dungeon, or you might fight the boss in a main storyline quest. That content is designed to be solo. It's really more there for aesthetics, not really there to challenge you. So this is one of the first game modes where a lot of people are running into problems. I love this. Though attack is up, the owner is easier to defeat. No, she's not. Okay, we're talking 5 souped-up health bars. Okay, this girl is not a joke. So the way you're supposed to do is, these little, nice little pyramid Illuminatis going on here. So you're supposed to basically fight 2 types of mobs in here. Trash mobs are going to drop these buffs. And one of the things that a lot of people are, I guess, not really paying attention to... Okay, that didn't go off. So this, unfortunately, that ability does not have hit immunity. But fighting these little guys, sometimes these will be on the ground. Sometimes you have to kill the enemies. See, there's one on the ground right up the hill there on the platform. We get the boss. So let's fight this boss. This is a nice little champion guy. This champion is going to have one of the keys. If you noticed up the top right, it says key progress. 0 of 3. So this is exactly what a lot of people are doing. They're running in here, they're grabbing the keys, and they're saying, oh, okay, I'm ready to go for the boss. There we go, we got a key. Now the problem is, once you get all 3 keys, you can click up here, and it will teleport you over to the boss. And what's happening is, so many people, the instant that 3rd key shows up, they jump over to the boss, and they say, I'm done, I can solo this thing, I've seen this boss before, not a problem. And I can't tell you, I'm watching group over and over and over again fail this because all they do is get those keys and think that they can start the boss fight right away. And I'm seeing a lot of people think they can just straight up solo the boss. They're not even trying to wait for their group in many cases. They're just like, well, I've seen this boss before, I can do it. And they're not appreciating the fact that this boss is super ramped up. I'm going to ignore that guy for right now, just for the video purposes, because you see there's 4 platforms where not just buffs, but also the champions can be. Now, there's only 3 champions, so sometimes you're going to have to run around. Sometimes you can get lucky, and all 3 champions will be literally right next to each other. I've seen 2 champions on the same platform many times, which makes it even worse for the game mechanics. The champions are stacked close to each other. Like I said, it's really frustrating because people get that mentality that I can do this, it's not a problem. And let's just face it, they're getting to the final boss way too fast. Let's just grab. Oh, here he is. See what I'm saying? So at this point, I would have already basically gotten all 3 keys. And in many cases, most of your pickup groups... Okay, he's just bullying me. Most of your pickup groups, at this point, are running straight to the boss. And like I said, this is the mistake that so many people are falling victim to, and it's the reason why so many groups are wiping on this game mode. Okay, so we have all 3 keys. People are going, oh, look, here, let's tap. We're going to go to the... oh, crap, I'm inbound. That never fails, you know? You can sit there for an hour and a half, and then as soon as you go to click something, somebody wants to go into combat. Am I still in combat? Come on. Let me go. Let me go. There we go. So this is what people are doing. They're getting the 3 keys, they're clicking into combat, and they're saying, I can fight this boss. Okay, the part of this game mechanic that they're missing is all around these buffs. So if you notice, frost attack, so I have one of these. Each stack adds 10% frost damage. After 3 stacks, increase the final damage to 25%. You have one for flame, you have one for volt. Look at this, mighty power. Each stack adds 5% crit. After 3 stacks, increase crit by 25%. These buffs are random as to which ones you're going to get during the course of the dungeon. So as a result, what you need to do is forward them to the right teammate. And this is the part that people are forgetting about. So for example, when we do dungeons, you know, our weapon loadout has this resonance. And generally speaking, they encourage you to have 1 dedicated tank, 1 dedicated healer, and 2 DPS. And a lot of times people will do that. But what people are forgetting about in this game mode is that you need to apply the buff to the correct person. So if right now I'm a DPS role and I want to play a DPS role, that's fine. I entered the dungeon as DPS. I'm ready to do DPS. I don't need 25% more hit points and more aggro. Hell, that's the last thing I want. The last thing I want is, look, 25 per stack? Why would I want 75% more aggro against the boss? That's the worst thing imaginable. But that's what people are doing because they don't realize they can forward this to the appropriate person. Okay, the healer should be getting healing. The tank should be getting warrior. Obviously, you know, if somebody is, you know, a lot of times the warriors or your tank will use like a flame shield, or potentially they'll use the frost sword. So maybe this is good to have. A lot of DPS, they're going to be going volt attack. A lot of them will have the size, you know, king for the size, so they might want flame attack, but then mighty power. This ability right here, this doesn't need to be on a healer. You know, this ability doesn't necessarily need to be on the tank. This is the part of the mechanic that people are missing out on. They're not getting all of these buffs. Okay, the game tells you how many buffs are remaining, and then they're not forwarding the buff to the correct party member. And then they're going into this fight and they're like, oh, I can beat this girl. She's just, look at that. I perfect dodged her. This is going to be an easy victory. Oh, crap. Her health isn't moving. Oh, wait a minute. You mean this is an increased health? Oh, wait. She's, oh, that's half my health. Oh, so you're saying I can't solo this? Yeah, that's exactly what we're saying. You can't solo this. Oh, wait. Well, I can break the shield solo, though, right? Because I've got a couple buffs on me. And that's what happens when people try to solo this encounter without the buffs. This is how it ends. And I'm seeing this happen time and time again. In fact, there are a lot of games where I don't even get a chance to get to this center platform before half the party is already here and dead. Because they didn't pick up any buffs and they thought they could just solo the encounter. You can't solo the encounter. There needs to be, I love all this, I get all these, I love that these are the, you know, friendly PSA announcements, but what they really need in giant bold letters is get the damn buffs, okay? They really need that, because nobody's doing it, and it's really becoming frustrating that so many groups are failing because they think it's a solo encounter that they can just face roll. So, I mean, that's Void in a nutshell. It's really not that hard. If you get a group that is just willing to pick up the buffs, assign the buffs to the right person, believe it or not, this encounter is actually really easy. I mean, I'm seeing encounters where healers are easily doing like 10,000 damage per tick on their heals because they're a dedicated healer and they're fully buffed up. I mean, some of these fights, they're so easy. I did one recently where the boss never left the tank. I mean, the tank had 100% aggro the entire fight. I mean, the healer pretty much just had to worry about being close enough to one person. The DPS could just do whatever they wanted because they were never being targeted. And if you follow the game mechanics, it's a really easy encounter. But following the game mechanics is what we need to do right now. And that is the component that I'm seeing so many people miss. And it's really frustrating when you jump into a pickup group and you pretty much just fail because somebody doesn't want to spend an extra minute or two to get some buffs. And that's really all it's coming down to. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope if you didn't actually learn anything, great. It means you're already doing this encounter perfectly and getting lots of loot. If you did learn something, feel free to let other people know, because after all, if you don't tell people, it's amazing how long they keep doing the same thing wrong. So yeah, I know that sounds kind of harsh, but in reality, like I said, I'm watching dozens of groups fail this because they're just not picking up buffs and assigning to the right people. So in any case, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and hope to bring you some more in the future. I'll probably do some more training videos here and there when I see some issues that I know people go through, whether I see it on stream or whether I see it just in the game. So until then, thanks for watching, and have a good one, everybody.